Howdy, howdy. Fun times, fun times. So, I got quite a few different articles up tonight, so I'm gonna jump in it and do it to it. Thank God it's Thursday. So, I actually looking forward to, I got a brake job I gotta do tomorrow on a car, and I need to get this grass cut. A couple other things to get done, so looking forward to doing the brakes though. Anyway, can't think of anything off the top of my head aside from what's in the news. There's been a lot of craziness, I know that much. And I'll tell you what, when it comes to the situation, even with nations like Israel, it makes you kind of really wonder. And I've asked the question a few different times if Netanyahu wasn't so pleased with something that Trump had suggested, like when Trump suggested taking over Gaza, they weren't real happy with that plan. So, pardon me. So anyway, first article I got, Trump rejected Israel's plan to attack Iran, says New York Times. Says U.S. President Donald Trump has rejected Israel's proposal to strike Iran's nuclear sites, the New York Times reported on Wednesday evening, citing White House officials and others familiar with the matter. Trump reportedly chose instead to pursue a new deal with Tehran. According to the New York Times, Israel had drafted plans to attack Iran's nuclear facilities in early May, aiming to delay its ability to develop a nuclear weapon by a year or more. After considering a combination of airstrikes and commando raids, the Jewish state reportedly proposed an extensive bombing campaign that would have lasted more than a week. Israeli officials had hoped that the U.S. would not only greenlight the operation, but also actively support it. Trump, however, shot down the plan earlier this month following a rough consensus in the White House. Vice President J.D. Vance, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard were among the top administration officials who reportedly raised concerns that the strikes would spark a wider conflict with Iran. So, and I would say that would be certainly possible. Certainly possible. And I don't know if it's going to get pushed to that. I look at everything that's going on. Of course, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Iran, and China, Taiwan, because we can't just turn our head from that. And it's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. I said a minute ago that Netanyahu wasn't pleased with Trump's plan to take over Gaza. So this article is not surprising to me. Israeli army to remain indefinitely in Gaza, says the defense minister. Israeli troops will remain indefinitely in the so-called security zones it has established within Gaza, the defense minister said on Wednesday. He added that their forces will also stay in similar zones in Lebanon and Syria. West Jerusalem has said the buffer zones are necessary to protect its communities and prevent future attacks by military groups. In Gaza, the military has established corridors to separate areas under Hamas control. Israel has also refused to withdraw from some areas in Lebanon following a truce with Hezbollah last year, and it seized a buffer zone in southern Syria following the ousting of former President Bashar Assad. Unlike in the past, the Israeli Defense Forces is not evacuating areas that have been cleared and seized, Defense Minister Israel Katz said in a statement. The IDF will remain in the security zones as a buffer between the enemy and Israeli communities in any temporary or permanent situation in Gaza as in Lebanon and Syria. So, they don't plan on going nowhere. So I don't know how that's going to shake out. Do not know how that's going to shake out. Well, fun times. One second. Okay, much better. Alright, and next up, the EU is trying to, well, I think make some kind of amends or arrangements or something with the U.S. You know, a few things going on. Europe seeking direct line with Trump, says New York Times. Another one from the NYT. European officials are seeking to establish a direct line of communication with U.S. President Donald Trump, unsure whether his team can make any real decisions or is willing to cooperate at all, the New York Times reported on Thursday, citing sources. Now, remember, they just told them that they were going to have to step back. Well, they told Germany, I think it was, they were going to have to step back on their, or maybe that was the UK, on the tightening of the free speech laws and stuff like that. Or, well, their hate speech laws, I should say. So anyway, says the report based on interviews with numerous oh wait, did I read that? No. The report, based on interviews with numerous unnamed European officials, describes the U.S. president as the ultimate decision maker, who is often difficult to predict, making the goal of getting Trump's ear a priority for Europeans. Many top-level negotiators in European NATO countries have found traditional diplomatic channels, such as the State Department and embassies, ineffective, the report said. The most effective interloculators on the U.S. side, hey, that's the word, man, don't judge me, that's the word, interlocutors, yeah, interlocutors, something like that. Hooked on phonics didn't work for me. Anyway, those MFers on the U.S. side are not career diplomats, but rather trusted special envoys and advisors, such as Elon Musk and Steve Witkoff, the article said. Someone automatically supposed to think, ooh. The officials also told the NYT that their U.S. counterparts are primarily focused on fulfilling the president's wishes, showing limited interest in the perspectives of America's allies. The Trump administration is not terribly interested in what the Europeans have to say, a New York Times source said. It's all about the unilateralism, and they don't consult much. After all, if they don't consider us allies to that extent, why would they? So, well, I know one thing. Their fight to help them get their freedoms back, at least, I think it was Germany. That's commendable. Yum, yum, yum. Have a vape. This next one is kind of interesting. Actually, the next two are kind of interesting. I mean, I was like, wow. I kind of, well, one of them I think is a maybe, and the other one I kind of, you know, it is what it is. U.S. can manipulate time and space, says the White House. Says here the U.S. possesses technology that can manipulate and bend time and space, White House Innovation Czar Michael Kratsios has claimed. Kratsios delivered the remarks at the Endless Frontiers retreat in Austin, Texas, just weeks after being confirmed as director of the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy. He emphasized President Donald Trump's ambition to usher in a new golden age of America, which includes fostering scientific research and the application of cutting-edge technologies. According to Kratsios, the U.S. can emerge as a global leader by making smart choices regarding public funding and deregulating innovation. Our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space. They leave distance annihilated, causing things to grow and improve productively, he stated, without elaborating. Later in his speech, Kratsios insisted that overcoming the sclerosis of the state would enable Americans to achieve scientific discoveries that will bend time and space, make more with less, and drive us further into the endless frontier. Trump himself has recently alluded to advanced technologies not yet revealed to the public. Last week, he claimed China would hesitate to escalate trade tensions with the U.S. partly due to existence of secret weapons in the American arsenal. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have, more powerful than anybody not even close, he told journalists in the Oval Office. So, interesting. And this is good news. They may have figured out where the hell I came from. UK researchers announced signs of extraterrestrial life. Could be, you never know. Maybe Scotty beamed me down. UK researchers have claimed to have found possible sign of life on a faraway planet. Scientists from the University of Cambridge have announced the detection of a gas that on Earth is only made by living organisms like us. The discovery, which was made using NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, could be the strongest hint yet of life beyond Earth. The team studied K218b, a planet about 124 light-years away. We could get there in a couple of days. Road trip, right? In the Leo constellation, it is known as Hycean planet, because they probably got a lot of hyenas, is what I'm thinking. Meaning, oh, no, it's going to tell me, damn it. Meaning it may have a hydrogen-rich atmosphere and liquid water oceans. That's a long damn way from hyenas. Such conditions can make a promising candidate for life. Even hyenas. I mean, you can't rule them out. The telescope detected dimethyl sulfide and dimethyl disulfide in the planet's air. On Earth, both gases are made only by living organisms, mainly marine microbes such as phytoplankton. Levels of these compounds on the planet K218b were found to be thousands of times higher than those on Earth. Dr. Naku Madhusudanan something, a Cambridge University astrophysicist, damn, can't even get the title right, and lead author of the study published in the Astrophysical Journal Letters on Thursday, said the implications could be profound, much like the title. The findings provide new independent evidence for the possibility of a biosphere on the K218b, the study claimed. What we are finding at this point are hints of possible biological activity outside the solar system, he told a press conference. Frankly, I think this is the closest we have come to seeing a feature that we can attribute to life, he added. He explained that detecting chemical fingerprints of gases that on Earth are created only through biological processes could point to a potentially inhabited alien world. This is a revolutionary moment, he added. Which means they want to remake the Redcoat and the Union. When the Union, those are two different damn battles. What the hell am I talking about? mixing up the Civil War and the Revolutionary War. That's not how it went down. We'll take some of both and send them to this planet and have a real revolution. We'll take over. We'll have another home. I get Broadway, though. I do. I get Broadway. Let's see. We got von der Leyen crying. Hell, I'm whipping through the news. I didn't even notice. I've only got 3 articles left. That's good with me. I'd mind taking an easy night. That'd be good. Oh, fun. So let's see what she's uptight about. West as we knew it no longer exists, says the witch. The traditional idea of United West is a thing of the past, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has admitted. In an interview with the German newspaper Die Welt published Tuesday, she claimed the EU no longer sees the U.S. as its most important trading partner after sweeping tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump. Big meanie Trump. The West, as we knew it, no longer exists, she said. We no longer get a free ride. Oh, it didn't say that. It says the world has become a globe. The world has become a globe also geopolitically, and today our networks of friendship span the globe, as you can see in the debate about tariffs. Her comments come after Trump. Well, that goes into the history about what the meanie orange man did, so we all know what the meanie orange man did. We've seen the memes. It's official. So this next one happened today and left me asking, what the hell? Because there really seems to be an increase in the amount of these incidents. And this one, wow. Deadly shooting erupts at U.S. University. A shooting at Florida State University has left 2 people dead and several injured, including the suspected gunman, who is now in custody, police said. According to the FSU Police Chief Jason Trumbauer, the 2 people who died were not students at the university, but the shooter is believed to be a student, the AP reports. Leon County Sheriff Walt McNeil identified the suspect as 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, the son of a local sheriff's deputy. Unfortunately, her son had access to one of her weapons, McNeil said. According to a law enforcement source cited by CNN, 3 firearms were recovered, one on the suspect, a shotgun inside the Student Union building on the Tallahassee campus, and another weapon in a nearby vehicle. The incident reportedly unfolded around midday on Thursday near the Student Union building, prompting a swift lockdown and shelter-in-place orders for students and staff. More than 42,000 students are enrolled at Florida State University main campus. Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare said in a statement that 6 individuals were hospitalized following the attack. 1 victim remains in critical condition, while the other 5 are listed as serious. Speaking at the White House, U.S. President Trump, whatever you want to call him, said he had been fully briefed about the shooting. It's a horrible thing. It's horrible that things like this take place, he said. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis also expressed his condolences. Our prayers are with our FSU family, and state law enforcement is actively responding, he wrote on X. Because, of course, X is where you go to get all of your government official information. What? That's what it's become pretty much. Fun times. Only got one article left. Damn. We could make it a record night. And it's a lame article. That's why it flashed. Trump not a big fan of Zelensky. Like we didn't know this. U.S. President Donald Trump has said that he is not happy with Ukrainian leader Vladimir Zelensky and the way he is handling the conflict with Russia. During a press conference with Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni at the White House on Thursday, a reporter suggested that Trump held Zelensky responsible for the conflict with Russia. I don't hold Zelensky responsible, but I'm not exactly thrilled with the fact that the war started, Trump replied. So I'm not happy with him, and I'm not happy with anybody involved. Trump went on to say that Russia has a bigger military force in Ukraine. If you're smart, you don't get involved in wars. I'm not blaming him, but what I'm saying is that I wouldn't say he's done the greatest job, okay? I am not a big fan. Trump once again claimed that the conflict would not have started under his watch and blamed his predecessor, former President Joe Biden. That's just a fact. I mean, although Trump has criticized Russia at times, he has repeatedly argued that Zelensky failed to conclude a peace deal with Moscow. You don't start a war against someone 20 times your size, then hope that people give you some missiles, he said on Monday. So, yeah. Howdy, Walter. Hope you've been well. So I would keep my eye on, like I say, I wouldn't take my eye off of China and Taiwan, Ukraine or Russia, or Israel or Iran. I just wouldn't. I think things could get stupid in any one of those. I mean, you have to look at this tariff war with China. He's incentivizing China to make a move in that sense. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the importance of the tariffs and what he's doing there. But it could spill over into something else. So, something to certainly at least keep an eye on. Anyway, that is all the articles. I had actually quite a few, but I just kind of whipped through them. We say I got quite a bit to do tomorrow, so I think I'll slink off and have an early, easy night, and then get to it tomorrow so I can get done with everything before Shabbat starts. So, anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all have a good evening. As always, Shalom.